I'm Allie,
I'm Deb.
and we're the host of Connected Conversations, the podcast to help you find more ease, flow, and harmony in your life. Hello, and today we are talking about how we manage the holiday season with the hustle and bustle. It's a question I thought was hilarious because, as Deb was describing, I feel like I am maybe her opposite. So, this will be an interesting conversation. I hope you can relate to either one of us or let us know how you manage the holiday season because every year seems to change a little bit. And sometimes I find like now without COVID, it's ramping up holidays like maybe they were presently, or are you scaling back because of COVID that you've recognized the holiday season? Maybe it is smaller and more intimate. So, Deb, I'll let you start with how do you manage the holiday season and the hustle and bustle?
So I hate crowded shopping malls. And it's funny because I love shopping, don't get me wrong, but I can't stand you're bumping into people, or I don't know if you've ever done Black Friday shopping, Boxing Day shopping. It's insane. And I can't stand it. I love a good bargain like everybody else, but when you're like piling on top of each other to get that item is not my idea of a good time. I like to start early. So I start asking in October, for my nieces and nephews what they would like. And I just kind of watch out for it. So I found something for my niece the other day. So I start early. That's one thing because I don't like it's like 2 weeks away and I haven't checked some things off my gift list. I am not a procrastinator when it comes to Christmas shopping. I like it done early. I would actually prefer to be done now. So I've been doing a lot of online shopping. So that was another twist that the pandemic really brought to us was online shopping, where you maybe didn't have the opportunity to go into malls. So for me, I love online shopping. I love that it's delivered to my door. I don't have to go anywhere. I think it's fabulous. So I like to start early. I like to do online shopping as much as I physically can. And I also make a list and I stick to it. So once I have those people checked off my list, even if I see something that they might like, I'm done. So once I'm done, I'm done. How about you? You're so opposite. You haven't even started yet.
No, it's barely a thought. Like, I think the most important person in my life, well, other than my honey Nick, we even talked about we're not really gift giving. We will if we see something meaningful. However, to us, like experience, like going out, grabbing a hotel room and go to like a play or jump into like, let's go to Montreal for the weekend. Like to myself and Nick, that to me is more fulfilling. And that kind of goes to love languages. Like quality time is one of my top. So that would be it. And my nephew, because he's little, he's 5. So he's probably the most fun to buy for. And Nick has 2 older kids. So I never know what to get teenage boys. So last year I just got what I got my nephew, his kids. So everyone got Nerf guns and they loved it. So I'm very much last minute, like what would be fun and exciting and just scoop around. My brother and I have also been known to be shopping on December 23rd and finding like last minute things for our mom and dad. And to us, like, and again, like quality time. It's that time that my brother and I get almost like now once a year where it's just us two. We get to grab a coffee, we shop around, we just enjoy each other. So it's it's as much as like giving to other people as it is like quality time for us. And I think for the holiday seasons, how I manage it is just I have a vast network of friends and family to visit. And to me, it's getting that opportunity to make sure that I get a visit. So some friends that have kids, I'll usually just pick up a little something. And again, like it's probably something that we can do together, whether it's a craft or a game, and we'll play. So I don't have a list. I'm often shopping on December 24th for last minute things. However, um, I do really want it to be meaningful, like really take a look at what that person would like because not everyone's love language is act of service or quality time. And sometimes things are important to people. And that's been a huge realization for myself is because material things aren't as important to me that like my sister, for instance, that is one of hers. So I know that she enjoys opening the gifts and those things are exciting. So what could I get for her that will enhance her life and that she'll really enjoy? So um how do I handle it? It can be pretty chaotic. So I definitely have in mind like my mental note of like, oh, this is what I want to do. And just make sure that I get to have time with people is my huge priority. So I feel like I could take little lessons of Deb and probably write down a list right now and take effort in finding maybe some unique gifts. And as for online shopping, I think I've maybe purchased two things online in my life, and they were because I find them in
What?
stores.
Oh my God,
Right?
that's so shocking to me. I think I just bought like 5 Christmas gifts this morning online, because my kids are so good at giving me links to things. But I do love the experience that you and your brother have. So you turn some of that chaos, which some people think, oh my gosh, I can't imagine going to the mall. You make it into a fun experience with your brother, and I think that's pretty awesome. And I do love the experience thing too, because people can only have so many things. Like my boyfriend, if he wants something, he just gets it. So it's hard to come up with ideas, and we very much often do the experience thing, like you were talking about too, hotels and stuff like that. I do know there's a couple things that he does need, so I've already purchased them. Um, but
What
I
do you do when he's like, I'm gonna buy this, and you're like,
don't
I
do
have it ready
it.
on the Christmas list and it's bought and
I
wrapped.
know, I know he thinks he doesn't need this, but he does. It's
Okay.
one of those. But I also like even for my kids, like my kids are older, in their late teens, early 20s, and they can't even come up with an idea. Like it's so I like to buy them things that they need. So whether it's a gas card or a grocery card for my daughter who's in university, like those are things that they need and will use. And of course, I'm sure they would love a gift card to some of their favorite stores. But they honestly, like I've been asking my kids for the last 2 months, and I think they've each given me maybe one or two ideas, and that's it. So maybe it's a ski trip for the family that might be on top of just a few small things. But I like the idea of experiences too, because I think over time then it just becomes you're buying something for the sake of buying, um, without maybe little thought or whether people actually really need it. So I do
Mhm.
like the experience part of it, so I like that.
One thing that has been more and more on my mind, and especially around the holidays, and I was part of a social media course at one point, and it was just north of Toronto and Barrie. It was like shop local or buy
Mm.
local. And there's a lot of great local artists, stores and shops that I think for myself, it's not that I don't want to shop local, it's taking the time to like get to these like cute places or take the time again to shop and see what's available or just recommendations. So I love the idea of gift certificates. So that local restaurant, or if you are creating an experience, like there's different inns and you can
Mhm.
go for that whole trip and shop within local realms because I definitely have been feeling that urge of like, okay, well, how can I support local if I'm not like a really big shopper and I get like it's just going downtown Toronto or downtown Barrie or downtown wherever and exploring what is possible. However, I think when you say like how much stuff can you really buy people? And when someone doesn't want anything. So it is looking for those unique finds and that while we're talking now is like, oh, it's a solution. Just go out and pop around because I don't shop often, like just not my go-to experience. However, supporting those local artists or local companies that have really unique finds maybe would be yeah. Now that I'm saying it, I'm gonna make Nick go on a date with me
And go
and we're gonna
shopping.
go shop local.
I love
He
it.
doesn't know it yet, and stay tuned for date night adventures.
And I do love, and now that the pandemic's over, like the Christmas markets where you find those local artisans. And when you're an entrepreneur, solopreneur, womenpreneur, whatever you are, That's also an opportunity for collaboration, or it's just an opportunity to connect and network and, let them know about what you're doing as well, because, they might have a need for your service or product, whatever that is. So I love that. And that just kind of spiraled an idea into me too. So that's why we have these connected conversations.
So that we can grow together. And maybe in the list, I'll put some of my favorite local artists that I have purchased from and that I have done work with, because it might be that, like, oh my God, what do I get my mom or my in-laws or my sister that has everything? Well, here's some really great gift ideas that you can shop local, support someone, or just give you some different gift ideas for this upcoming holiday season.
I love it. I love it. I took a class recently too, making your own body butter or lotions.
Mm.
And it was a store I didn't even know existed in Stratford. So that was a great connection for me because I love to shop local, and they had like amazing soaps and all different kinds of things. So it was an opportunity to network and also make my own body lotion, which I actually gave one to my daughter. So it spirals, right? Then my daughter's like, "Oh, I didn't know that store either." So when you find these little tidbits or nuggets, then you share it with a friend, and that's how you grow in community and service.
I love that. So you have your experience, you have your gift, and you're supporting local and you're networking. Like, talk about win, win, win,
Win
win,
win.
win. And it's fun. It's fun, like
That's
doing
right.
things.
I love it. I love it. Well, I hope everyone got some tips and tricks on navigating the hustle and bustle of the holidays. And we will be back next Thursday with another episode of Connected Conversations.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please share with your friends and rate and recommend on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. There will be links to more great resources in the description.